All right. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining in this month for Meet the Founder. I am the host, Lashana Boyd, and this month we are
This
featuring,
meeting is being recorded.
owner of Beloved Bites, Tara Martin. Welcome, Tara.
Hi, hello everyone.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited to have you on this month with us to share about your business. And we're going to just dive right into it. So I will now turn it
Um,
over to you. You can just go ahead and introduce
can you hear me?
yourself and your business. And we'll start from there. So go ahead and introduce yourself. You can't hear me?
Yeah, technology is not my friend right now. Can you hear me now? I
Trust
do
me, I get
apologize.
it. That's okay. I can hear you now.
Awesome, awesome.
All right. Well, go ahead and just introduce yourself,
Oh,
and we will go from there.
all right. Well, my name is Tara Martin, as Lashana said. I'm the owner of Beloved Bites, and I started the company um, early this year, and it's just what I love. It's just mainly what I love to do. My desserts are made with love. They're homemade. I love making other people smile through my food when they taste my food. So that's just me in a nutshell. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Still live in Ohio, but um, live on the outskirts of Cleveland right now. So I'm just excited to be here and thank you for the opportunity to discuss and talk about my business.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for joining me. So, I think most people can agree that tasty treats like desserts make people happy. So,
Yes,
definitely,
yes,
you are in the right place there with making people smile and happy when it comes to tasty treats and desserts. I think most people can agree that that is something that makes them excited. So, what types of desserts or how did you first get started? Is it where did you always bake as a kid, or did it just something that just kind of came upon you?
Well, I really started baking or cooking in the kitchen with my grandmothers at around the age of 12. I learned a lot from them, as a lot of our generation did, in the kitchen with them, from chopping, starting out really small, from chopping, being a taster. So I learned a lot from them. They always did it with love. It gave me the passion to do it. And seeing them bake with love and then see the smile on their faces when everybody enjoys their food, that brought me I that's how I feel now when my customers or family members or my church members, I bring them samples and I was like, how, what do you think about it? And when they smile, it was really good. So that brings me joy. So since the age of 12, I've been experiencing it from my grandmother's kitchen tables. Now I get to do it for other people.
Yeah, but I can definitely testify to that as a church member and friend that
Yes.
I am not a huge fan of banana pudding, but you brought one what a couple years ago to the church picnic, and you
Mhm.
were like, "No, this is so different. You just gotta try it. You gotta try it." And I'm like, "Okay." And so, yes, I can definitely be one to testify that it is a different and unique. And so, some of your desserts are they're similar to regular desserts that we may have, but you have your own twist on them, and they have different names. I know your
Yes.
banana pudding is called Banana Bliss.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You have banana bliss, you have the strawberry bliss, and then I like to dabble a little bit with the pound cakes, everything. And then you would go into dealing with chocolate chip cookies. I do brownies. But what I do, I try to add a little bit to the recipes my grandmother taught me when I was younger, because anyone that knows or gets in the kitchen and tries to make a homemade banana pudding, dealing with the custard, making it just making the main ingredients. If it breaks, then you're in trouble. And I'm gonna say if it breaks up those that do not or have not made banana pudding, when you attempt it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I add my own twist to it because when you're cooking or you're baking, you well, I believe you should add your own twist because it'll make it more like yours. And the more you cook, I smile because the more I cook, the more I enjoy it. And you start to test different things. You use different extracts, vanilla extracts, or you find different brands, and or you find out the challenges of baking, um, the ups and downs of making a dessert. People say, well, your banana bliss is like something like banana pudding. Yes, it is, but I prepare it differently. I don't add a lot of sugar to my banana bliss, even though you can't tell because I am a diabetic. So I kind of wanted a dessert that I can eat some of the time. I can't have it all the time, but because it has bananas and a lot of sugar. So dealing with that, a lot of people love my dessert because it's a fun dessert. It's smooth to taste, but it does have the crunch in there for you. With the cookies I use a Chessman, and I know a lot of people use Chessman cookies these days. But anyone that has my Banana Bliss know that um, my Banana Bliss is totally different than anything on the market, and that's what my customers tell me, and including my strawberries, because there's a lot of customers that like strawberry bliss, and because they don't like bananas. And I even get customers who don't want no fruit and they just eat it with the cookies, the cream with the cookies. So it's turning out to be a great ending, well, ending a great year for me.
That's amazing. And I like how you mentioned that it's not a lot of sugar in there, even though people cannot tell. And
Hmm.
even just mentioning the fact that you are someone that with the diabetes, and how you can still enjoy the dessert. And I think that that sometimes too becomes a challenge for people, um being able to enjoy things that they normally like, but still making sure that it falls within their health, requirements. So that's awesome to know that that's something that you considered,
Hmm.
for other people as well. So now let's talk about this. Where is Beloved Bites right now? Where can people buy it? Talk about your journey. I know I'm not going to share the journey. I know, but you can share the journey about right now how you started off. I know you had customers, just regular family, friends, but then the Lord elevated that for you. So talk about that elevation process from just family and friends to where the Lord took you next.
Thank you. I smile because it has been a journey. Like I say, I had some challenges. I had some lessons to learn throughout this great wave that I'm on. Um, I never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I thought that I always go work for someone else, but my dream turned into well, thought turned into a dream, and now a dream turns into a business. Like 2 years ago, I was just making it for people. They were like, "Oh, could you make this for me?" And they'll bless me with a couple of dollars here or there. And I did it out of the kindness of my heart. And I was like, my husband was like, "Well, why don't you just make some samples or take it to the picnic and see how it does?" And that's where it first started at our lovely church, Impact, our picnic. Yes, Impact Ministries, which will be open tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I did use my have my church be the test tasters. They didn't even know it. I've received great reviews, even people who don't like the texture or normally or banana pudding. And that's where it all started. And so it was like 2 years ago. And so I just kept on changing, making the recipe better. And like I said, being a diabetic, I wanted something you know, um, that I can enjoy, and other people who may have high insulin issues. And it turned out to be a great dessert. So this year I decided to step out on faith and create a business. I was just like, oh my goodness. I mean, I have my husband to thank for that. Yes, my children are my support. Even my sisters, they told me to step out there, and it was great to have people at my church praying for me. And I just started Beloved Bites. I prayed about it, and everyone's like, "Why do you like Beloved?" I said, "Check out the name, what Beloved means." And it just had skyrocket from there. I'm in stores. Um, Orders are coming in, doing events, and people are building memories, sweet memories with the desserts that the Lord blessed me with. So I have my own website. Help I can't say I can say a friend, and also one of our pastors at our church helped me get on board with help me build my website. I mean, God is just blessing. So it's belovedbites.com. It's my baby. It's coming along. So um I'm getting past positive feedback from there. Some things, again, I'm gonna get more pictures up. So it's just been a great journey. I mean, when I walk into the store to drop my delivery off, I can't believe sometimes I say delivery. Um, I'm dropping them off. They're increasing in sales. They want more product. So it's just been an awesome journey, and I'm just staying humble and asking God to keep pouring into me, because the lessons that I've learned is just to stay positive and keep God first, and just stay positive and don't get discouraged, because as being an entrepreneur, especially a minority entrepreneur, it's not always easy to break into the business, into the dessert business. But tasty treats, sweet little nothings, I call them, because I sell them in the like a 6 ounce or 8 ounce, or some people order like pans of it. So that's where I'm at now. And like I said, been thinking of doing this since, I mean, I've been in the kitchen since 12 years old, and anyone that knows me, that I love cooking and I'm a foodie. So it's just been great.
So I wanted you to go into detail. I was trying not to share it for you, but talk
Okay.
about your journey with getting in the stores, because that is major, from
Oh,
going from church picnics and family and friends to actually being on the shelves in stores is actually amazing.
thank
So
you.
talk about that journey and that process for you.
Thanks for reminding me, because it's hard for me to talk about myself. But I thank you, like, again, for this opportunity. Well, I stepped out on faith again. I decided, I said, well, I got a good response from our church, and I think that the products is ready to be presented to people for food trucks and things like that. So the first thing I did, I made the batch, and I had my little cooler, my little pull-on cooler we used for picnics, and I packed it up with ice and with the product, and I had taken it to the barber shop at first, where my sons get their hair cut, because the gentleman that was cutting their hair, he was preparing himself to get his business, another business started, was a food truck.
Mm.
So he ordered it and all that, and was getting prepared for him to go out there on the road, right? So I gave him my banana pudding. And at the point, well, banana bliss, that's what I called it at the time, banana pudding. He tasted, he said, I never had anything like this. So he said, when you're ready, I need you to give me your advertising. And I need 10, I just want 10 just to see where it goes, when he did the football games. So I said, okay. And then because I always try to help other people out, and I frequently go to Akron, and this place where I get my subs at all the time. And I brought it up to a sample to him, and I call him Pops, and he says, well, let me get a sample. Let me taste it. So I gave it to him on a Friday. I called him Monday. He says, Tara, let's start out with 10, 10 per week. Now, for people like, oh, that's not a lot, but it meant a lot to me, because my product was on his shelves
Yeah.
in his business. I started with 10, now 10 a week. Now I'm at 40 a week, just at his store.
Yeah.
So every step of the way, I kept my faith. I trusted. I'm constantly trusting God, and being positive. So every time I come in there to make the delivery, he makes me laugh. And he's so proud of the product, and he loves it. I mean, he boasts on it more than I do, because he's like, that's the best banana pudding you'll ever taste. You have to taste it. And I got some great news. Now it's going to be on DoorDash. So I am super excited. Yes, he told me, he says,
Yes.
send me a picture. I need to put it on DoorDash so we can have more of the product leave out of here. So I'm just super excited. I just did a no bake cheesecake for him with my twist. So I probably add that to the website a little bit later, probably early part of the year. So it's just growing and doors are being open. So yeah, it's just I can't. It just it blows my mind because one person who is entrepreneur, he says, Tara, take it day by day. He said a lot of people have businesses, but a lot of them don't even have customers because I was just shocked and everyone has opinions when you start a business. They be like, do this, and I was like, whoa, I was overwhelmed. So I prayed about it, talked to him. He's like my mentor. He's a real um he's just positive all the way around, and he gave me that great advice. Take your time, and the customers will come, and they have, and they're still. I have orders now, so I'm very excited.
Well, that is very exciting news. Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
That's
Thank you.
exciting.
Yes,
Very
it's
exciting. Um,
yes.
One of the things I know that, like, as when we're starting a business, as an entrepreneur, sometimes one of the challenges can be, like you said, customers. And then if you see someone in the same field or doing the same type of thing you're doing, and you're seeing them and you're like, well, wait a minute, they're moving along, and and so that could be a challenge as well sometimes when you don't see it growing as fast as you would like, or the quantity of customers.
Hmm.
So that was very much so excellent advice, I think, for any person starting a business, entrepreneur, to take it day by day, because sometimes we expect, it's like, we may know that the product is great, like
Yes.
everybody feels like what I'm putting out there is great, and that's
Yes.
a good place to be when you're positive and you're confident in your own
Mhm.
product. But then
Yes.
sometimes with those, like you said, like when the doors don't open as fast, it could become challenging. But
Yes.
I think that's some excellent advice, to just take it day by day, because some days may be better than others, but
Mhm.
just taking it day by day helps with your mental part of staying positive and not getting discouraged along the
Yes.
journey.
Yes, you have to. I mean, I started off with 10 and the travel time. I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing everything. You're getting the product, you're preparing the product. Actually, you're going to the store, you're buying the containers, you're making sure everything is sanitized, you're making sure you're up to par with everything. You got your license, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. But then to have the customers like that takes time. And but starting out with 10 a week, I was
Yeah,
excited. I said, someone wants my product, right? They're actually paying
absolutely.
me for it.
Absolutely.
So,
That's that
yeah,
part.
that part, they're paying me for it. They're not saying, can I get a sample? Is there, a lot of people like, can I get no, can you make an order? Because it's expensive, because that's what my Banana Bliss, it's not, I don't use any cheap products. I try to give the best because I like to receive the best. When I go out to a restaurant, I want the best. If
Yes.
you're what I see on those commercials when I go to a restaurant, that's what I want. I don't want you.
Absolutely.
Presentation is everything, but I did 10 a week for probably about 6 months. And I had to tell, I had to learn to speak up for myself. Um, my sister, she was like, well, first of all, that's not enough. I was undercharging for my product, and I had to learn that that's another lesson. Just because you get it into a store or you have customers, your product, you can't. I don't dummy down my product, as in I don't use cheap ingredients. I try to give my customers the best at all times, because that's what I would want. But 6 months of just and traveling like 35 minutes, and you get a little blessing, but it was like gas prices and everything, and I'm working full time, and I'm a mom, a wife, and so it was just like it was a lot. So I had to have a conversation. He was like, "Yeah, this increase every time." It's like, "Okay, yeah, Tara, I need more." And then I got to a point I thought it was okay with just 15. He was like, "I'm gonna need you to bring in On Wednesday, 20. And then on Friday, I need 20 more. I was like, oh, and now I need you to switch up with more product. He said, you want me to make more product? I said, oh Lord. I said, okay, so God, he just continue opening doors, and you just don't give up. If it's you selling, like if you sell jewelry or you whatever you sell, don't give up on your dream, because a lot of people will doubt you. A lot of people they want, just being honest and transparent. You have to believe in your product because it comes from you. It's a blessing, whatever you do. If it's something tangible, if it's you writing books or your first book. I mean, I gave samples, you know, from one friend that just recently did an art gallery. He's like a world-renowned photographer, right? But he was just showing off some of his work in his loft he has. He says, "Well, Tara, can you bring a couple samples by?" I said, "Here we go with these samples." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I do." He said, "Well, I'll have a lot of footwork." And I was like, "Okay." So he's a great friend. I had taken him down there. And I had received some feedback from clients that want to use me down the line. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
being a blessing to somebody else is always a blessing coming for you. So I don't always it's not cheap what I do, no, but
Right.
if I can be a blessing to someone, um, then because I don't know, I think about it, I pray about it, and if this God says do it, I do it, and because He always gonna provide for you in everything you do. So I always tell people, they say about, "Oh, I'm not just going to give my product away." It's not. Sometimes it's about blessing others, and you
Yes,
don't know who you're running into. You don't know, who's going to be there to receive that
absolutely.
product. So,
Absolutely. And I think sometimes that's the thing that um because certain things take, it takes our time, it takes money, we feel like, well, wait a minute, I just spent my money on this. I don't want, it's like now, but like you said, you never know who you're going to run into. And so
mhm,
sometimes just, putting yourself out there could mean, uh increase in your clientele
mhm,
just
yeah,
by you going and showing up and being yourself and taking the product, and people being able to see, okay, wait a minute, this is banana pudding with a twist.
yeah,
And so that's very, very exciting. I am so
yes,
excited about the increase, like you said, like starting
yes,
out small and seeing the increase. And I think it's important to know, like, fear will literally cripple people because we will be
yes,
so afraid. And one of the things God was saying to me, like, Lashana, you love being on this platform. You love talking
mhm,
to people. You love bringing awareness to things that other people are doing, or
mhm,
even just general conversations, educating people. And he's like, but you got to be consistent. And I'm like, oh,
yes, it's
and so even as an entrepreneur, that's something that's important, is being consistent, like
yes,
branding, being
yes,
consistent with branding, being consistent with, when you are asked to do something, or, just being consistent is a key part to it,
mhm,
to anything that we do, because, you can do something one time and then expect or think, okay, well, if I do this one time, it's just going to kick off. But
mhm,
we've got to remember too to be consistent in
you
everything that we're
do.
doing. And God's like, hey, if you want this, girl, you got to be consistent. Get out
Yes,
there and be consistent with what you're doing. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. So I
you
think
do.
that is something also that is important, is to make sure that we're being consistent with things that we are doing. Um, Sorry about that.
That's
So,
okay.
where do you see? So we are in stores, we are on the food truck, we're at the church picnics, we're at the family
Yes,
functions, we are
yes.
now on DoorDash. So, where for you would you like to see Beloved Bites go next?
I would love to get it in across the country, even global. I would want to, I was thinking like and praying about like where that question popped up, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? I would love to have a place where even a bakery or eatery where not just I'm featured, but others are featured, other entrepreneurs. I can showcase their items that they have, that they produce. And I would like just that maybe um, just a building that will be able to showcase our desserts, our other different sandwiches that we may come up with. But like I said, and also have a spotlights for different entrepreneurs because everybody needs that exposure. But on my heart, I would love to have one day that we actually do no charge, and whatever a person can bless us with, if it's if it's a quarter and I give them, a beloved bliss, a strawberry bliss or banana bliss, or if a pound cake, whatever they would like that day, because giving back, because a lot of people can't afford some things, but if you can put a little joy in their life that day, that will go a long way for me. So I'm giving back to the city, my community. That would be a way for me to do that as well. So that's what I'm my future. I would love to get it around because Banana Bliss, it's a whole dessert. So we're still trying to figure out because I got people out of state of Ohio, out of state of Ohio who wants it. But we're looking into that. Maybe do some dry ice. I don't know, but um, we have to look at how much it would cost us to do that and all that. So I'm just excited to see what else God has for us out there. So
That's exciting. Well, I am super
yes,
excited for you. Can't wait to see what
thank you.
happens next.
Thank
I
you.
did just want to go back before we
Hmm.
close and just talk about, I know you
Hmm.
said like in the beginning you were undercharging.
Hmm.
And so how did you get to that place where, because I know sometimes when we're getting into business with something, um you're kind of get trying to get your foot out there and see, okay, what's too much to charge, what's the right amount to charge. How did you get to the place where you felt like, okay, I have got to be okay with saying this is my price and I'm sticking with it? How did you get to that place, from being undercharging to now saying, okay, I'm going to step out there, and even if people don't, the price they feel is too high, this is what I know that my quality of work is worth. Was that a challenge for you?
Was because I wanted to I didn't want to like push people away with the price because like I said earlier that the ingredients that I use in my desserts, they're not they're not cheap, and compared to the prices in the grocery store, we all go to the grocery store,
Yeah,
prices have increased tremendously. So
absolutely.
I mean, Chessman cookies is what I use in my banana bliss and strawberry bliss. That's not all I use. So everybody's out there trying to run to get some chestnut cookies, you're not gonna make it's not gonna be the same, okay? But there some places they're like 509 a pack. The little chestnut cookies. And
Yeah, those are
I
not
was
cheap.
no, and so I had to take everything in consideration, my time, my ingredients, the containers I bought. I wasn't taking that in consideration.
Yeah.
And then I would try other people's banana pudding because I wanted to see what my competition was. So, and there's no competition out there,
All
but
right
still,
now.
yeah, because I don't try to, and I'm the type of product they were using. You can taste the ingredients I always tell people, um, I'm a chef by a cook by self-taught, learning it from the kitchen table. So, but you learn what's the ingredients in your food. So when you're trying to figure out, okay, could I cut this way? Could I cut this product? I said no, I'm not cutting my product. And I'm gonna charge what I know I deserve because I give you a finished product, which is an awesome product. So I had to do my homework. I had to, my mentor get sent me a Excel worksheet that shows you put all your information in there pertaining to your all your ingredients to your product and how much it costs and how much you use. And that kept me in line. And at the bottom of the worksheet, it tells you how much your product, how much it costs to make, and then you put
Yeah.
your time. And so that's how I worked that out. And it really opened my eyes because I was actually losing money.
Yeah.
And I've been told I'm a nice person, but I was being too nice because I was undercutting me and I was spending more. I wasn't receiving what well, being paid for what I was giving to the
Right.
client. So I had to learn that was a big lesson for me. And
Yeah.
so I tell anybody, if you believe in your product and you give them, it's not because my product is not a processed product. It doesn't come out from a factory. Um, it has excellent ingredients in it, and it's made with love. And I want to give the best because I require the best. And so when that's what happened, and I had to have a conversation with the store manager, and I had to be like, you know what, I did start off with this price. But things are increasing. I always brought my reasons and my honest reasons, not because I
Yeah.
wanted more money just for GP, but I wanted to let him know that with gas prices and my product, what goes into them, he doesn't even know my recipe. But I told him certain things, and he didn't even, there was no negativity or anything. He was just like, well, you know what? Let me call some of my vendors and see if I can get the cookies a little bit cheaper. But you can't. Pepperidge Farms doesn't do it. So, but he
Oh,
even went out of his way. Yeah, and he that's a blessing. But he understood after the conversation, and which I was not ready to have. My husband actually had the conversation with him because I had stepped away because I was going to get some other samples out the car for him because I was, trying different desserts. Came back to the conversation. He was like, Tara, I need you to be confident. You deserve this amount. We're changing it. And I was like, wow. And my husband smirked at me and he was like, and we had a conversation in the car. He said, see, you gotta be, put your shoulders back, have a little
that's
gumption and be like,
right.
this is my product. So just believe in your product, and always do the numbers. And I know how, like I said, I wanted my product. I didn't know, but the Lord was pushing me. He says, make the product. And I put in a little cooler, like I said before, and I went to the places. And now they want me to go to other places. Because one store, one restaurant is asking me to bring a product in, some products, right? And I was like, okay.
Hey.
So I'm excited, but you have to, in order to make the product. And so I can't think of one off the top of my head, but how, say for instance, I don't know, we had this candy bar we all used to love when we were younger, but I'll just say, like remember the Snicker bars was huge when we
Yeah.
were younger. Now they're like this. They're cutting a product, and a lot of people tell me who are entrepreneurs, a lot of times they cut the product, they change the ingredients, and I don't want to do that. If mine have to be exclusive, and you have to pay a little bit more, but know that the product is made with love, it's homemade, and you're not going to get that out there in the stores. It's going to be processed. It's going to have a lot of nasty stuff in there. So when I say nasty, I said stuff that's not good for you because I want to make a product that my children can eat, and I
Yeah.
don't want them inherit. You have to worry about diabetes, being a diabetic, one or two. So yeah, I just had to run the numbers, and like they say, I think the kids say 10 toes down. I'm not sure,
Oh,
but I just saying 10
saying
toes
10
down,
toes down.
10 toes down, and believe in it because and again, if you don't believe in your own product, how do you expect someone else to? So,
And that is so true. So, and we see the results of being
yes,
confident in the product and them requesting more, even with the increase in the price, and
yes,
now being on DoorDash and restaurants coming on board. So,
yes.
hey, it that is exciting for you. Well, Tara, I thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining me this month on Meet the Founder for Beloved Bites. And again, that website is www.belovedbites.com.
Mhm.
And are you on any social media platforms?
I am working on that now. Will be on Instagram and TikTok soon. I know everyone's telling me I need to get on there um, to show the goodness of my product. That's what they said. I said you can't see the sweet. They said you can see the sweetness of the product online. So I'm gonna work on that. That's a work in progress. So I'm getting out there. So yeah, you can find it at belovedbites.com. And just leave a message, or you can drop me an email. Um, the email address is on there. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, for having me on here to discuss Beloved Bites and bring it. A lot. Some people know about it, but others you introduced me to a plethora of people. So I just want to say thank you again, and keep doing what you're doing, bringing us to the forefront, and staying positive. And I hope that your audience grows, and you'll be on many more platforms because you deserve it. Because you make people comfortable. And you have such a great spirit. So, as even though you're my sister in Christ, so you
Right.
good anyway. You good anyway. But I love you and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you. And I pray that your business continues to grow. We definitely
You.
see the Lord's hand all over it. So you are
Yes.
covered. But we will
Yes,
give you a
yes,
double blessing of covering for
yes,
continued growth and
yes,
success for you. And that is awesome too to have your family on board. That's a blessing too to have family
yes,
members because, like you said, doing a business can be by yourself. So by yourself, like you said, you're going to the store, you're packaging it, you're doing it. It sounds like you got your family making runs with you and doing
yes.
deliveries. So that is a blessing. So shout out to your family as well
Thank
for being
you.
there to support you as well. So guys, holidays are coming up. We're coming into the new year. And as Tara
Yes,
has already shared, it is friendly as far as health friendly. It gives you
yes,
that sweet taste, but not the sugariness of the treat. So
yes,
definitely go and check her out for your
yes,
party needs, holiday needs, or just
yes,
at home want a sweet treat needs. So
yes.
thank you so much, Tara, for being with us
Thank you.
today.
Well, thank you. You guys have a good night. Thanks again for the
You as well.
opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, for joining us tonight. Take care.
Take care. God bless.
God bless.